My name is Keisha Nielson. I graduated nursing school just a couple years ago and I started in medical oncology. I absolutely loved it. I initially started as a contracted RN with the St. George franchise, and that's when I met the Hurricane franchise owner. She was selling that one, so I just decided that I loved this so much. I was passionate about it, and I wanted to continue helping people continue to grow the business. So I decided to jump on the idea of buying it, and I've happily been the owner of the Herc and Advanced Mobile IV franchise for 2 weeks now. So still kind of new, but I love it, and I'm happy to see where we can go with it. I currently have 3 contracted RNs working with me, and I'm looking to hire a 4th one at the moment. One of the biggest benefits that I found while working for Advanced Mobile IV as a contracted nurse was simply the patients. The patients are amazing, they're kind, they're genuine, and although I know they're not feeling very well, that's typically why they call us. I have been able to build relationships with my patients, and that's something that I value and cherish, and it's one of the biggest reasons why I became a nurse and one of the biggest reasons why I decided to buy a franchise. I would tell nurses who are interested in buying this, becoming their own boss, and running their own franchise that they can do it. And it's doable and it's fun and it's what you make it out to be. And you can help people in ways that you never imagined. And you can help your contracted nurses in ways that you never imagined. I think it's been one of the most beneficial things for me and my family. I have flexibility now, whereas at the hospital, unfortunately, I didn't. And my patients are flexible, they're very kind and people, and my nurses are amazing. You build a team, and everything is just as you make it. So if you want it to be this fun and amazing thing, that's what it can be for you. And it's a lot of hard work, but I think as nurses, we're used to that, and we have the grit, and we have what it takes. So I highly encourage anybody to buy their own franchise, to become their own boss. It gives you the freedom that you haven't had before in nursing. When I joined Advanced Mobile IV, I was just looking for something that gave me more freedom as far as my time went and my schedule, especially being a mom. And I think Advanced Mobile IV did just that for me. My patients are flexible, I'm flexible, and we just make it work. My work and family life balance looks a lot differently than when I worked full-time at the hospital. I now have the time to go out and be with my son while still making great money. I still have the opportunity to go on family trips and just plan things, even if it's kind of on a shorter notice, whereas with the hospital, you have to give quite a bit notice if you want to go on vacation or if you have a family emergency. It's always hard to get somebody to cover you. Whereas with this, I do have way more flexibility in my time to be with my family and handle things like that. Some goals that I have for my area is, I guess I have a lot really, but I want to prevent people from going to the ER. Of course, we don't want to replace the ER because they're wonderful and we need them, absolutely. But many people just go to the ER simply for dehydration, and we can prevent that, and we can save people money. And I just want more people to know about us and how we can benefit them. Whether you have cancer, whether you have an autoimmune disorder, dehydration, and another kind of acute illness, we can help you feel so much better, and we are much cheaper than the Instacare, much cheaper than the ER. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits to us, and people should know that we exist and how we can help them. My plan for my franchise is to kind of go everywhere. We have a lot of outdoor activities here in southern Utah. We want to be able to help people, whether they're traveling and they have an acute illness or they're dehydrated, we want to help them. We also want to help people with nutritional deficiencies, and we also want to be a part of like spas and make it more of like a luxurious thing that people get as well. And we just want to kind of infiltrate ourselves into every aspect here because we know we could help so many people. So as a contracted nurse, I did have a lot of help, surprisingly, from corporate. When I wanted to try and market myself as an independently contracted nurse, they gave me every resource I really could need. I had somebody to help me create like pamphlets and brochures, business cards, and things like that. They even printed my business cards for me, and I didn't pay for them. So that was really awesome. And I just felt like I had a lot of support if I had any questions at all, or if I needed medical advice or a nursing question, I did feel like I could always reach out to either other nurses around me or the nurses above me. And I had a lot of support, and I was very happy about that. And now as a franchisee owner, I do feel like I'm more involved and I have a lot more interaction with corporate at the moment. Lately, it's been more office stuff. But anytime I have a question, they're really quick about sending me a text back or giving me like a phone number of somebody else that could help me right away. And the training has been good. I've only been in this for 2 weeks, but usually if I have any questions, I just make a quick call and they help me go through it step by step. And the training's been great. I think that they're there to help me, and if I have any questions, I know that they'll answer. They're busy in meetings sometimes, and they just let me know when they'll get back to me, and they usually get back to me right as soon as they said they would, which has been awesome for my schedule. Some patient experiences that I've had that I felt like have changed my perspective on advanced mobile IV for the better was I had a firefighter come down. I think he lived up north. He came down. He had severe food poisoning. And when I came to the house, he was in his bathroom, literally just like clutching the toilet with both arms around it. So I gave him an IV, our stomach bug food poisoning IV to be specific, and he perked up. He felt so much better. He did show signs of dehydration when I was there. His veins started to perk up. His color came back. He had more energy, and he was still, of course, very tired from the food poisoning, and as it's going to take a few days to recover at least, but he just looked and felt so much better. He didn't feel like he needed to stay near the toilet the entire time, and that was really awesome just to help, this amazing guy. He was a firefighter, probably 200 pounds, and to see him be so sick like that it hurt, just seeing him like that and being able to help him felt amazing. And another patient experience I had with a woman who had a severe migraine. She answered the door and she had a blanket wrapped around her when she answered the door, and she just spoke in this quiet voice and asked me to talk quietly. The lights were off. Nothing stimulating in the environment at all. Like no TV, no noise, nothing. And so when I came there and I gave her the IV, and she started to perk up within 20, 30 minutes. And shortly after, I texted her and it was like, hey, is your migraine still going away? How are you feeling? And she just texted me and replied back like that she had never had relief like that from her migraine ever. So it was just amazing to be able to help somebody like that who struggled with chronic migraines and, kind of give her back the rest of the day that she had and was able to enjoy the rest of the day. It was awesome to help her. An experience I had with a patient most recently that I was able to help was this guy called me. He said he had really severe diarrhea for the past few days. So I go over there and I just did a quick little assessment on him. I could tell that he was really dehydrated. His veins were flat, and his skin was what we call tenting in nursing terms, where you would pinch it and the skin was still standing. So I could tell that he was definitely very dehydrated. I did check his vitals and everything looked really good. So I wasn't worried about anything there, but he definitely needed fluid. So I gave him 2 liters of fluid as well as our diarrhea gut bag. And that just is to help with like the acidity and the nausea and the stomach pain that he might be having, as well as any dehydration and electrolyte imbalances he might be experiencing. And he felt so much better after. I called him the next day and he said that he just felt good as new. And so it was amazing to be able to help him. And compared to how he was feeling when I got there, I'm just happy to hear that he got better after.